Hi there, it's Kelly from Body Fit Solutions. I'm going to be doing today a weight training program specifically designed for women, but men can enjoy it as well. I feel that women maybe in general don't do enough weight training stuff. I'm going to do a program that you could do at home. I've got a bench, which also could be a chair or your couch. I've got a kettlebell weight, which I think everyone should have. It's a 15-pound weight. You could also use a 10-pound weight or a heavier dumbbell. And I've got a set of 5-pound hand weights. So we're going to use a variety of that, but feel free to use smaller weights to start with or water bottles. But I do suggest that if you're going to do weight training, you invest in some weights and potentially a kettlebell. So we're going to start with a warm up, and this will be about a 20-minute, half-an-hour workout, depending on how we go. So good luck. So starting with a nice open close of the arms. Just opening up through the shoulders. Getting some nice mobility there. And very gently backstroking back. So getting some rotational patterns. If there's any cricking and clacking and crunking in your shoulders, then just ease up the movement. Just let your head turn. Let your body feel that nice rhythm. And then just going into a very gentle squat. Okay, we want to feel the sit bones widening as we come into the squat. Okay. From the side, I don't want to be bending over, I want to be sitting deep. Okay, feel the pelvis really heavy as we go down. Good. I know it looks odd, but we're going to allow those knees to bend in a little bit. Okay, so I'm turning in the legs. Turning in the legs, and then also turning out. Just warming up. 2, and 3, and 4. And I'm going to put one leg slightly forward, one leg slightly back. My back leg is slightly lifted, and my heel is lifted. 2, and 3. You can put the hands on the hips if you like. 4, let's go 5. And the other side. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Lovely. We're just going to go into a nice wide stance, going into a little stretch down. And up. One side. 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Lovely. Another side. And 2. So waking up the inner thighs. And sorry if I do uneven amounts on each side. I'm just going to turn sideways to show a step back, C curve. Really be careful we don't go into the back. So we're trying to stretch through the hip and then step back. Same side. Stretching through. And back. Good, lovely. Stretching through. And one more. Good, same thing other side. So left leg back. And up. Breathe through it, nice breath out. So I'm letting the back knee be a little bit soft. If you feel any pain in your knee, just soften the movement. Just take it back so you get a little bit of a stretch. One more. Good. I'm going to take the hands in front and just do like a little curtsy rotation. So these are all big movement patterns to get the body warmed up. And I realize I have my studio heaters on. So after I do this one, I'm going to be clicking those off because I'm already getting warm. And good. So about 10 of those. Good. Make sure you have your water. Lovely. Okay, from there we're just going to do a little roll down. So I'm just going to go here. And carefully walking down, bending the knees. I'm going into a little moment of a plank. If that's too much, you can go to the knees. Just have a little moment there. And I'm going to walk the hands back. And keep the heels as flat as we can. And then walk back out. Good. Keep nice and strong, pushed away from the floor. Starting to wake up those shoulders. And walk back. Good. And around the back. Walk back up. So I'm feeling a hamstring and calf stretch. And back out. Good. And one more. And back out. lovely. And just come into a little shell stretch. And then walking back one more time to roll up. Good, lovely. I'm just going to grab the kettlebell for my first little exercise. So a little 15-pound kettlebell or a 10-kilo kettlebell, or you can have a little hand weight. I'm going to go into that split stance squat. The movements we're going to do about 12 to 15 repetitions. Okay, so we're just going to go down and up. And what we're going to do, I'm sorry if I'm not counting very well, 4, is really work into legs and then work into upper body. I believe that's 8, 9, getting as deep as you feel comfortable, and 5 more, keeping nice and lifted through the body. Now if you want to do this with hand weights, it's absolutely fine, have them on your shoulders. 2, and 1, well done. We're going to go into a little press up sequence. Now for now I would stay on your knees, okay, if you're new to it. If you're quite strong, you can go into a full press up, but I want to see a nice long line here. So not bum out, but tail down, and really supported from pelvis to ribs. I want you to push the mat away from you, and just do just a normal press up. So the elbows are slightly going out and slightly back. 2, we're going to do 4 of those. 3, and just like my staggered squat, I'm going to take one arm back and one arm forward, 4 of those. So please go into your full if you're quite strong. 3, 4, and then the other side. So I've staggered the hands, so you can see 2, 3, and 4. Good, easy peasy. Coming back up right away into the stance on the other side. Now I had my left foot forward, so now my right foot forward now for this. 15 here. Now you might find that your knees aren't really happy, so you can bring it back to just a normal squat and just go a little bit deeper, but there's something nice in going here into that split stance. I can get a little bit deeper into the squat. Maybe that's 7. Good, breathe through it. 5 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. Lovely, good. So bring back to that press up position. Now if you feel confident to go into a full, same pattern. 4 in the center. Okay, and you can go down to here. 3, maybe get a bit deeper. And split. 2. So I want to avoid the shoulder blades collapsing. I want to keep pushing the mat away from me, even as I'm going down. And I'm going to add an extra one. Right? Just to finish it off. Go right narrow. Almost bring the elbows to your waist. Nice and slow. 2. Without the shoulders rising, so keep pressing the floor away as you come down. Shoulder blades nice and flat on your back. Really use the abs to push you back up. 1 more. And release. And we can take just a little water break after we've done those 2. So the second set, I'm going to use the dumbbells, and I'm going to use the bench I've got, but I've done this at home and I just use my foot on the couch. It allows me to get a 1-leg squat going really well. And we can play around with the arm grips. I'm going to turn the palms in. I'm just going to do a little hammer curl as I go down. I'm trying to start on the leg that I did with my squats, where that leg was in front. So I have my left leg here on the floor. 3. Breathing. So you can see this is really starting to work into my quads and into my bum. 6. 7. 7. So using the arms a little bit is quite good for metabolism. 8, 9. Nearly there. So you should be starting to feel this now. Good. That's 12. You can stop there or push for 3 more. And 1. Now I'm going to go right to the other side before I go into my upper body. Okay, just check in that we're not tipping over this way with the hip as we go down. So decrease your range if that's happening. You want to send the hip back. Okay, so our weight goes over our foot. 3. Sorry, adding the bicep curls. So as deep as I can control my pelvis alignment. 5. Now I love doing weight training. So it gives me a workout without feeling I have to go for a run. That's 8, hopefully, if I've been counting right. 9. And I want to go to the point where I'm really feeling I'm working, and I am now. 5 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good, well done. Now I don't generally like tricep dips, but if we can do them right, they're quite effective. So there's a few options. We can just hold and hover and get our pelvis to suspend there and then come back. Okay, so with the shoulders open, pushing away from the block and come back. Okay, so you can work with that or keeping tall, just a little bend. I don't want to go too deep that everything collapses. I want to push away and reach the elbows backwards to lower me down. It's not my bum lowering me. My arms. Keep nice and strong. Okay, if you feel strain in your shoulder, stop. Go to another little press-up variety. Okay, or work on some of the arm exercises coming up. This isn't for you. I'm starting to feel it now. So let's go for 5 more. 4. Maybe get a bit deeper as it's burning more, as long as I'm not compromising my shoulder. 2. And 1. So a nice option for triceps, if you don't want to do that, is actually just going into a little drop press here. So where I'm challenged to pull my body weight up. So if that tricep press was too much, please do that box version both times we do it. Unfortunately, we gotta go back to our little lunge sequence. And feel free to play around with the arms a little bit. So instead of doing a bicep curl, what about 1 forward, 1 side? Okay, if that's too heavy for you, with the weights you've got, go back to the bicep curl. Or you could do a press. I find that quite challenging when I'm squatting backwards, unless I've got lighter weights. So just be aware of that. You can press safely. Yeah, it's about 9. Good, 5 more. Just playing around with those arm positions. 2. And 1. Good. Right to the other side. I'm getting a nice glow on, which is good. So it's got to be heavy enough and deep enough. If you do feel by 15, you're feeling something. Okay, again, if this is too much for your leg here, just do a little normal lunge and build yourself up to be able to put less weight on. Okay? Be safe. Most important thing. We want to get strong. We want to be safe doing it. Good. I have no idea how many I've done. Let's pretend it's 10. And we have those arm positions. We can vary. It's a bit more challenging on this side for me. 3. 2. And 1. back to those triceps. Remember your box version? You can go into, or into here. Give you a nice neutral back. You're very clever. You can add a little kick. Staying nice and central. Keeping those elbows going back. So I'm kind of doing 2 alone and 2 with the kick. Ooh, starting to feel that. And if I lose count, I don't care. So I'm going by feel. And I know I probably have maybe 4 more I can squeeze out. So go by that, don't get fixated on number. Oh, I think I have 2 more. And that's what matters. We get stuck on doing a certain amount of repetitions. Actually, the body might be able to do those extra few, and that's what makes a difference for the body. So just listen to that. Okay, I'm going to stay with my kettlebell, but equally so I could do this with the dumbbells, which are a nicer feel in some ways. So if you do have a kettlebell at home, you're going to hold it in what's called the rack position. Okay, so I have one arm vertical and I'm holding the other arm over. Sometimes that's uncomfortable, so I'll hold like this, like the bell. Okay, so go where it feels comfortable. What I'm going to do is chop down as I step. So chop down as I step. Again, I'm trying to start on that same leg, my left leg. Okay. 5. Now watch my knee alignment. I don't want to go here. Equally so, I don't want to rotate so much that it throws me off balance. So I'm really trying to turn the chest just enough. And if you can, look the eyes down. That's great. Push off that front leg, pull back on the back leg. So I don't want to just work one leg. I want to work both. Good. 3, 2, and 1. And you can hear I'm getting nicely out of breath. So always have water. And of course, do the other side. So up to 30 seconds rest. I wouldn't do any more for what we're doing. It's not overly hard cardio, so we want to keep it going. Okay, ready, go. And give it some power to push off. 3, 4. So if you're finding your knee is turning in, feel like that upper leg is spiraling out just enough. And feel like you're resisting gravity a bit. So I'm not giving myself too gravity. Already lost my count. I'm going to say that's 9. 10, remember? It doesn't matter. Around 12 to 15. If you go to 20, maybe up the weight. It's not heavy enough for you. And that's your measure. You're doing quite a lot before you're feeling it. You need to increase the weight. And up, well done. Now for the next exercise, I'm going to take the dumbbells, so a little bit lighter weight. And I'm going to go quite low. Now just work this leg. So I'm quite fatigued already. This is a bit of a challenge. We have 2 options. We have a row where I'm going backwards, or a fly. The key is I want to go backwards to get this movement. And I'd even be okay with you going down on the knees. So I've got my thumbs turned up. So I want that open chest position. I'm trying to work into the shoulder blades. Okay. From the front, widening open. So I need to be on enough of an angle that I'm not lifting up this way. I'm going behind me. Okay, so these are 5-pound weights. That's quite enough for me in this position. If that's too much, go into that wide row. 2, and 1. Remember, I've had that left leg forward. So the right leg's going to go forward next time. From wood chop. You can take a lighter dumbbell, take your dumbbells instead of the kettlebell. Here we go. Second set, wood chops. Give it a little bit more power. 6, 7. Keep that abdominal wall lifted. So I'm not dropping everything down. I'm lifting it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, well done. Do the rest if you need to. So I don't want to collapse my weight. I want to be lifting out. I'm nice and sweaty now. Into the other side. So you see I don't give myself much rest. This is what makes me get a bit out of breath. 6, pushing off that front leg, pulling back. And I want to turn from here, not just from my arms. Okay, it's going to be very compressive. So I have enough turn with the upper body. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. So we're going to have my right leg in front. So I can go into that high lunge. I'm going to be nicely burning out that front leg. And then going into that rear fly. About 10 to 12. Down to the knees. Thanks. Over the other version. So I'm always trying to go backwards and open. Open through the shoulders, open through the collarbones. And 1. Maybe 1 more. Release. Good, well done. Oh, take a nice little breather. So I've got one more sequence of stuff, a little bit more concentrated, and then we'll come down to the mat for a bit of a core workout, so to speak. So this is really done well with a broomstick or a pole. So I'm just going to grab a pole. So I've got one hand at my head, one hand at the pelvis. And I want to keep that pole there as I take that right leg back. So same arm as back leg. I'm just going to tip, keeping that alignment. This is a little bit slower pattern. We're only going to do one set of this. So I want to let the leg lift in relation to my tip. This might be a big balance challenge. Great for working into the hamstrings and bum. 6. I'm just going to do 10 of these. So after all the squatting and lunging, my bum can feel it. And building yourself up to go a bit deeper. And oh, that didn't look hard. That was hard. So when you try it, see if you do better than me. Okay, I'm going to go right to the other side. So I want to change my hand grip. So now I've got my left arm behind, my right leg forward. I'm keeping a neutral spine here. I don't want to arch the back. It's pretty hard to, because you'll feel the pull. I don't want my head drifting forward. So it really makes us work the leg. Halfway there. I want that back leg really straight and really parallel. So I want this. Okay, we're going to come down to the floor. And I'm going to go into a side plank. I think side planks are really valuable for strength. But the key thing is that we're not collapsing on the shoulder. So I'm really pushing away. And the first level is to start with the bottom leg bent. Really open through the collarbones, and I'm going to push down through the arm and through the leg and go into like a little star plank. And then come down. You can lower the arm. But what I don't want to do is collapse here. 2, 3. And you know, if you're quite good at that, then we want to work with the full plank. 5, 6. Now I'm only lowering where I can stay stable here. 8, 9. If you can do more than 10, go for it. Try and squeeze 2 more out. Oh, that was pretty much my max. Okay, so version 1, pushed away. I want this arm right under me, so I don't want it here. Right under the shoulder. Press down, lift, and down. There's a lot of things that have been working today. Now I can feel them. Right? 4. So that's our full version that we're aiming to get. Be aware of the ribs, they're not popping out. We're keeping neutral. Side's easier, so you might find one side is better than the other. So you may want to do an extra set on your weaker side. And come down. Now we have 2 versions for this next exercise. If you can stretch your arms out, fabulous. If that's too much for your shoulders, have the arms out to the side. So we're going to do a little Superman lift. The key is that I don't push my belly down into the mat to lift. I'm stretching out. So I'm working my back extensors in a really lengthened way. And if that's too much, go to a nice star out to the side. If you reach the midline of the legs away from you. That's too much. One arm at a time. And one leg on opposite sides. Which is also a quite nice exercise to do. Let's all do a few of those. Head nice and long. Last 2. And then when you're all done, just come into a little shell. And what we're going to do is a little stretch here, which we know, a little piriformis stretch. You can keep that foot down if that's enough of a stretch for you, or you can take it into the air. Hands behind the head. Interlace the fingers. I'm going to slowly curl up and then rotate towards my leg. And if you're quite okay, bring it to tabletop. At any time if you're compromising your pelvis. And now I'm going to reach the other leg away from me as I come up. Really actively reaching it away. Nice and slow. 2. And 1. Good. Across the other. So I can stay down and just work with it here, or you can come up where you've got that stretch. So I want to focus on peeling my right shoulder blade off and keeping my pelvis calm and level. I'm not twisting over. And then in tabletop or down, across. single leg. Press away. So I can do it here. Still getting that effect. Good, and stretch it all out. And just gather yourself up, coming onto all fours, and just doing a little bit of mobilizing, and then up into a stretch for calves and hamstrings, a little downward dog. And walking back. I don't know about you, but my legs are quite shady, so you might need a wall to hold onto. I'm going to grab hold of the front of the foot and then stretch back to stretch my quads. So yeah, please grab a wall to hold onto if you need it. And same thing on the other side. So I'm going to grab hold of the front of the foot and bring it back into that stretch. And stay nice and tall, and like me, lifting up through there. Hopefully you felt good doing that. You can build yourself up from the movement patterns to adding weight, but I do challenge you to feel these exercises and not just go through the motions. As we as females need to build strong bones, strong joints. We want to prevent osteoporosis. We need weight-bearing exercise that challenges the muscles, to challenge the bones to grow. So I challenge you to keep it up. And just do a little bit of stretch there, and stretch there, and 2, and 1. And then taking the arms, reaching them behind, and lifting up. Thank you very much. This is Kelly from Body Fit Solutions. I hope you enjoyed the workout.